Hello boys and girls, mums and dads and anybody else who happens to be watching. Well, it's been quite a while since I unboxed something on this channel. I've had a bit of a hiatus on Roger's Stuff Nonsense. So I'm back with another Playmobil unboxing. Now if you like Playmobil, I may be unboxing more, but I will also be unboxing and reviewing other things that you can buy, not just Playmobil. My next unboxing and review will be for a device that helps you hang pictures up in your house. So it's not all Playmobil, but for today, if you're interested in Playmobil, and in particular this Playmobil camper van, this is the video for you. Now I got this because it was an absolute bargain price from my local Asda supermarket, Asda Walmart supermarket. Now at the time of making this video, which is October 2014, Asda have a half-price toy sale on, and this particular Playmobil camper van was included. Now the normal price at Asda was £23, which is pretty good because the other camper van that I've unboxed on this channel was about £40. So £23 is pretty good for a Playmobil camper van. But in Asda's half-price toy sale, this was £10. So that's even less than the original price, less than half the original price. So for £10, you can't go wrong. Go to your local Asda now because they probably haven't got any. They haven't in my local one anymore, but the toy sale is still on currently. So here it is. This is item number 5928, Playmobil camper van. Now it's a little bit more basic than the other Playmobil camper van I unboxed and assembled, but it should still give you or your child, your kiddies, a lot of play value, as all Playmobil toys are very good for imaginative play. I can get my words out. Now let's open the box and see what we have inside. As ever with most Playmobil toys, there is some assembly to do, but that's half the fun, I think, of buying a Playmobil item. You have to assemble it. So first thing we can see is a bag that's got the instructions in, some of the smaller parts. This is suitable, let me have a look, for age range. Well, four and over really, because of the small parts. You could, I suppose, give it to a smaller child, a younger child, as long as you leave behind any of the tiny parts and don't include them in the set. So the main camper van, without all the little bits and accessories, is probably okay, but for safety reasons really, it's suitable for 4 and above. So that's the first bag. The second bag we've got in here, it's got two Playmobil adult clickies, or figures. There's a man and a woman, and they've got a black dog in there as well. There's some other bits and pieces, a fire extinguisher, always useful in case a fire should break out while you're out camping. Safety first, that's for Playmobil, yes. Now, another bag, more bits and pieces. Looks like there's a chair in there and a table. I think that's the roof box that goes on the top. And yet another bag, well that just contains your tyres and your wheel hubs to actually fit onto the camper so it can roll about. Here we've got the lid, or the roof of the camper van. And finally, that's the last thing to come out, we'll put the box to one side. Here we have the main camper van itself. And there's a lot in there, not, as I said, not quite as much as you get in the other camper van, but there's still a little sink, and there's still a place, a little 2-ring hob. I think that's going to be the toilet. I assume there's going to be a seat for me to put on, I'm not sure. Then there's a shower, conveniently placed just in front of the toilet. 2 seats at the back. There's a little slot there, so I'm assuming that the table fits in there. And at the front, of course, can we check? There we go. Bit hard to see at this angle. You've got your steering wheel, and of course your front passenger seat there as well. Okay, let's open the instructions and assemble this Playmobil camper. Well, here we have all the bits out of the various bags. There's quite a lot here to assemble. Let's first rescue Betty and Fred. This is what I've decided to call them. Here's Fred and here's Betty. And Betty and Fred, once I've assembled their new camper van, they've decided they want to have a nice weekend in the Lake District. I think they're going to go to Windermere and then maybe a quick trip up to Keswick and have a bit of a ramble up Skiddaw. Well, that might be a bit much for them in one day, so I don't know where. Catbells, let's say. They're going to Catbells in the Lake District. A lovely little walk. La 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 la. But to get there, they've got to first, well, we've got to get some wheels on their transport, haven't we? So you two, you sit over here, out of the way, and you watch while I assemble your camper van. And your dog, woof woof, we don't want the dog getting up to any mischief and doing anything naughty. We don't want him having an accident, do we? So we'll let the dog roam free over there and you can have a bit of a sniff around. There's some nice trees for him. I'm sure he'll enjoy having a play there. Right, here's the instruction book. You also get this lovely little miniature catalogue, obviously designed in order for you or your children to see what else you can get from the Playmobil world. Lots of lovely things. Maybe for your next birthday, or Christmas is coming up, isn't it? And this will give you and your mum and dad plenty of ideas. Whatever you buy from Playmobil, they are fantastic things, as I'm sure anyone who's watching this who is a fan of Playmobil will agree. So there you get that little miniature catalogue. Right, so what are we going to do? I don't think there's going to be that much to assemble. Here's the clear instructions. And number one, so the first thing we need to do, according to this, and I'm glad about that, is fit the toilet seat. Because I didn't like the fact that there was no seat, no cover on this toilet, because you know, when you're travelling along, if you go over a bump in the road, you don't want anything nasty coming out of the toilet, do you? So it just clicks in to place. Hopefully, there we go. So now we've got a seat on the toilet there. So that's the first job. Next thing, the table. A nice table, and again Playmobil have thought of everything. There's even a little lip all the way around the table, so when you're travelling along, yeah, cup of tea. If you're in the back enjoying your tea while somebody's driving, your cup of tea is not going to slide off the table, or your fondant fancies. So that goes into here, just pushes into place. There we go. So we've got a nice table there to have our tea and cakes or something a bit more substantial, because of course we do have a little cooker on the back there, so they can make some beans if they want to, heat something up anyway. So that's the second thing. The third thing we need to do on the front page of the instructions is put these two stickers on. So we've got a front and a back number plate. So they're different shapes. So on the back here we've got a little square section. So that's where we put the square number plate, which I'll do that now. Try and get it on straight. I do know some Playmobil collectors that a little tip, if you've got a lot of stickers to put on your Playmobil, and that's gone on quite well, use some tweezers if you've got shaky hands, and sometimes the stickers are in awkward little places it's hard to get your fingers into. So on the front we've got a section here for this one. Try and get it on straight. I hope you can't see I've got a dirty fingernail, I do apologise. Been doing something a bit mucky and forgot to scrub my fingers. There we are. So there's the front number plate. Now what's next? As I thought, got to assemble the wheels, and let's have a look. Here we've got the wheels. Lovely, very realistic. Look, there's even tread on them. Absolute fantastic detail you get with Playmobil. And we've got what is it, the hubs, I don't know what these are called. But anyway, they go inside the wheel, don't they? So I think it doesn't matter which side they go in, but they just need to be pushed in to each. The tyre needs putting on each of the hubs. Assume they're called wheel hubs, because what goes on the edge of them and the end of them is the hub cap. So that's it, that's one. Repeat 4 times. It's a little bit tricky. Need a little bit of force to put these on, so a child may need some help assembling this part. Some adults might need help as well. I think I can get it in there. That's it. Oops, no. Hasn't gone in this way. There we go. One more. Soon we'll have this Playmobil camper van rolling along like nobody's business, won't we? Oh, come on. You've got to go on there. There we are. So that's all 4 wheels assembled. Now we've got some other parts to look for. Now there are 4 hubcaps. Here they are. 4 hubcaps. They'll go on, but not until I've put the wheels on the actual camper van. But we need these pieces. Oops, I assume they're the wheel axles. So, actually no, we do put the hubcaps on. So each wheel we need to put an axle in. So which way does it go? Let's try and look. Ah, that's it. So this side is where the axle goes in, but which side of the axle goes into which? I think it's the shorter. You can see there's a bit of a difference. There's a shorter end, so that first goes in. And do that again, do that 4 times onto each of the wheels. That's it. So that's nice in place. And now, on each of the wheels, onto this side, we clip the hubcaps. So that just finishes it off nicely, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the wheels all assembled. All we need to do now is actually clip them into place. I assume I just push until it clicks. No. Does it go around in a different way? Hang on a minute. That's it. Nearly done. Put that one up there. And then finally, there we go. That's all 4 wheels. That's very smooth running. Very good. Now we need to do some more of the internal assembly. We have got here. Now, here we go. Next to assemble is these pieces here. I believe these are the beds. So our little Playmobil people, when they've had a good trek up Cat Bells, and they've come down, they've walked into Keswick, and they've gone in to Bryson's and got a nice cake and some fresh tea leaves. They can go back to the camper van, have that, and then go to bed. But they need these first, so where do these go? Let's have a look. Now, oh, that's good. Notice something there, I'll point that out again for you. Now, these go on somewhere, but I can't quite see where. It's a little bit tricky to see, I think. Ah, yes they do. Right, these two, now under here, this is where the beds go, over these compartments here, but these compartments are used to store some of your little bits and pieces. So I don't know if you can quite see, but on there is a little symbol of some cutlery. So when you finish with the cutlery, which I'm not going to open at this stage because they're tiny, they're in this bag here, you can actually store them in this section here. And on this section there's a picture of a frying pan, and I happen to have the frying pan. So look, the frying pan fits in there. Isn't that fantastic? So you've got somewhere to store everything. There's some more storage areas here, so they will obviously be for storing other small pieces. Once you've put those away, you can cover the areas, I assume. That's it. So that's one bed, and we have the other one here, which we can put this way. So there we go, that's the 2 beds installed. And then we have got, not really sure what these are, but they go on the top. I suppose you could use those as a bed as well. So I suppose, those could be for children, I expect. I think so, because look, the adults, a little bit squashed there, so that's where the adults must sleep at night, on there. There's no children supplied with this, but if you've got some Playmobil children, you can take them camping as well, because there's space for 2 children on there. Now we need to put the doors on. Now I never noticed that. There's a little place in there, look. I don't even know what that's for. Not really sure, but there's some extra storage space. It looks like, I'm not really sure what that is. Anyway, we'll put the doors on. This door that's got the sort of the window in it is the main door into the camper van. So that goes on according to the instructions this way. That's it. Hang on a minute. Should just click in. There we are. A little bit fiddly. Is that in? That's properly. That shuts nicely and firmly. So that's not gonna fly open when you're on the motorway. Those have fallen off, so I'll just put those back on. And then we need to put this door on the back. So that goes this way. Oh, is that broken? That would be unusual for Playmobil. There's some, I think that's just a bit of leftover plastic in the mould. Look, just a bit of, I think that'll just come off. Hopefully that's nothing. I don't think it is. Let's push this in, click it into place. Sometimes they are a bit tricky, these, as this one is proving to be. So again, an adult might need to do this. What I'll say about this particular camper van, while I'm struggling with this piece, there I've done it. This actually isn't made, there we go, it lifts up like that and that holds open. That's a very good, useful little thing, isn't it? Again, attention to detail with Playmobil. The access door here actually stays open when you open it until you want to close it, and then it shuts firmly. This particular camper van has been made in Spain. Now Playmobil obviously manufacture in Germany. They do have factories in Malta and some other places in Europe as well. To get the price that the retailer wanted to sell this for, it possibly was assembled in Spain to get the assembly costs down. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is made in Spain, but as I'm assembling it, it feels no different to a Playmobil item made in Germany. It still feels like it's a quality toy. Far better than a lot of the toys you can buy from China. So if it's got the Playmobil name on it, and if it's a genuine Playmobil item, then you can't go far wrong. So there we go, that's the doors. Let's turn to the next page. We've got a ladder that needs to be put onto the back, and that goes this way up. And if we look here, it goes above. Yes, there we go. I think that clicks in there. Is that right? That's right. There we go, there's the ladder so they can climb up and get on the roof. This is a pull-out awning that slots in. So that slots in this side, and that's the way it goes. Or does it? Not sure. I should assume that's correct. Not really sure about that. Sometimes instructions are a little bit vague. Oh no, that's better, it's clicked in. I think that is correct. So that's a little awning that comes out, stores there. We can put the roof on. Almost there. Now we've got the wing mirrors, because obviously when they're driving along they need to see what's coming up behind them. So here we have the wing mirrors. They clip on either side. Wing mirrors or door mirrors. I suppose they're wing mirrors. Now, let's try and get them on. That's it. Another push fit, and this one goes on this side. So that's both wing mirrors assembled. Now I've got one little thing, got this tow clip thing. Now, I assume it's for towing something. You could probably, if you have a Playmobil boat, a speedboat that has one of those on a tow bar thing, you could possibly pull a boat along with that. That just fits into the end here, look. On there. Now we've got some other bits to do. We've got 2 roof bars. So they fit on the roof, obviously. Hang on. 1, 2. We've also got the roof box. Again here, more storage. And that's the roof box. So which way does it go on? Well, that's the way. Roof box. And finally, for this part of the assembly, and I think that's probably all the assembly, we've got the aerial so they can listen to classic FM or Radio 1 or whatever they like to listen to. That goes on the roof. Again, it should just click in. I don't think it clicks. Let's just take the roof off a minute. While I've got the roof off, pop those back on. Just check that I've got this in correctly. Yes, I think it's in. It didn't click in, but there we go, there's the aerial. What else is there to do? Let's have a look. Still a bit more assembly, but not much. We've got to assemble the table. So here we have the table and the legs. This looks like it's a folding table. So we need to put this part inside this part first. Right, I think this is it. Again, a little bit fiddly. That's it. And then we need to put the tabletop in place. Don't think there's any special way it goes in. Or does it? There might be a special way it goes in. Not sure. I think could be it. Not really sure if that's correct, but anyway, let's open it out. There we go. That looks like a table to me. Does it look like a table to you? It does fold. Not sure if that's correct actually. I wonder if I do it that way. Let's see if that's the way. Probably not. I thought the legs would tuck underneath. You see, that looks good, folded like that. But will it open now? Oh yes it will. That's the way to do it. As Mr. Punch used to say. There, so that's the folding table, so you can have that outside if the weather's nice enough, which in the UK I doubt it. And then they've got a bike, even got a bike, so there's a few parts to the bike. Here's all the bits for the bike. That reminds me, my bike is in the repair shop at the moment. Should be ready today. If only it was easy to fix as this one, and as cheap, huh? No, now there we go. I'm doing this from memory. Is that it? There we go. Let's push the handlebar into the front, put the other wheel in the front forks. Fiddly fiddly. Parents, don't do this if you've had a few drinks. I think you need a clear head for assembling this. There we go. So there's a lovely little red bike there. I assume there'll be somewhere to put that on board. We've got the fire extinguisher. There probably is a place for that. I'll have a look. Get fire extinguisher. We've got 2 folding chairs. Lovely little design. Isn't that sweet? Little chair. You can fold that up so it stores in a smaller space. So that's 1, 2. Not really sure what that is. Not sure if it is anything. Oh, it is something because it's listed in the parts, but where it goes, I'm not sure. Perhaps I've missed out on some of the instructions. I'll have to look at that, what that is. Not sure. So here's the cutlery. As I say, I'm not going to open that. I don't want to lose those bits. You've got your frying pan. Whoops. You've got another little saucepan there. And there's some more crockery we have. Whoops, I've dropped one on the floor. Let's get that before I lose it. We've got 4 plates. So like I say, this will suit a family of 4. So if you've got 2 children, you can add them to this set because they've all got a mug each and a plate each and a bed each. But there is only 2 folding chairs, so the kids are going to have to sit on the floor, aren't they? Now, where is... Here it is. I dropped my little mug. So there we go. Table, 2 chairs, all the crockery you need and the cutlery, and a fire extinguisher in case you burn the sausages, and a bike if you want to nip to the shops for some milk. What this is, I'm not sure yet. I don't know what that is. Is it just a stick for the dog to catch? Because I cannot see anywhere in the instructions where you'd stick that. I'll see if I can get any information from the box. Right, let's have a look at the box. I can't see anywhere where that stick is. No, that is a mystery to me what that's for. But it must be for something, for goodness sake. It doesn't actually show it. This is the contents of the box. It doesn't actually show it on the box what that is, but because it's actually listed as a part in the instructions, it must be for something. What have I missed? I thought I'd done everything. I'm not sure what that is. Ah, now I've seen it. It's on page 2. I still haven't got a clue what it is. It's that. So let's open the top of the camper and have a look. Slide that open. Well, I think it goes. Well, I don't know what it's for, but it goes here. What is that for? Can you see? There it is. I've no idea what on earth that's for. I have an idea. I've just realised. I'd love to have a camper van. I just really like the idea of being driven around by someone and me sitting in the back watching my DVDs, having a nice cup of coffee and some hobnobs, or even having a little rest on the bed while somebody at front's doing all the work. What heaven that would be. That mystery object is a grab rail, so when they're going up to bed, you can see there's some little steps there. I'm not sure if they're shaped for the adults. Let's try them, shall we? Well, yes, you can grab hold. As you can see, she's on her way to bed, but she's going to be a bit squashed on those beds, so I think reserve those ones for the kiddies, while the adults sleep up the front here. Now I'm assuming, and I don't think Playmobil would have forgotten to do this, but I'm assuming that when the clickies are on their bed, you can still put the roof on because they're going to get very wet, aren't they, if it starts to rain. Here's the roof. There is a little window at the top and it is shaped, so I'm assuming... I knew you wouldn't let me down, Playmobil. Don't know if we can quite see them without them falling, but they're safely tucked up in bed with the roof on and they'll be kept dry in case it rains. That's fantastic, isn't it? Fantastic. So that's the Playmobil camper van assembled, and for £10, if you can still get this from your local Asda store, £10 for this item is an absolute bargain. Like I say, it doesn't feel any different in quality to the more expensive one. It's not got quite so much, quite so many accessories, and there's, you know, some of the detailing is more basic, but I think any child would be very happy to receive that for birthday or Christmas. I know when I was a child I did have Playmobil, although it's called Playpeople when I first had it, because it was made by a different company in the UK. It's made by a company called Marx Brothers. They Playmobil in Germany authorised them to make them, so they were called Playpeople. But when Marx Brothers went bust or went out of business, all the Playmobil was imported from the German company. That is fantastic. Look at that, how that goes along. So you have a lovely, lovely toy for £10. Even if they still sell this model in Asda for £23 when the toy sale is over. What a bargain. Absolute bargain. I mean, I know you can get cheaper toys, but if you want toys that your children will remember when they're adults, as I do, if you want toys that your children will get many hours of play value from, and they're not based, you know, some of these toys are based on fads that come and go. But Playmobil, they're consistent, you know, they don't have any licensed things. They're not licensed from films or TV programs. They do change, obviously, they bring new stuff out all the time, but they just make it better and better. That is fantastic. I just love it. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully I will be reviewing more Playmobil for you, so do stay tuned. But like I said at the beginning of the video, I won't just be concentrating on Playmobil. I do have some other things in the pipeline for the channel. Lots of other different sort of things to review for you. Thanks for watching. If you'd like the video, subscribe, and you'll be updated when I upload a new video. See you soon, and goodbye.